Welcome to 1 Minute Crypto. I'm your host, Chronos, and today I want to talk about how the high fees on the Bitcoin network are actually good for Bitcoin. There's a running joke in the Bitcoin community that everything, good and bad, is technically good for Bitcoin, and the high fees on the network are no different. So in this video, I want to talk about why I think that's the case. But first, I want to thank our sponsor because this episode is proudly sponsored by America's Card Room, the poker site that lets you deposit and withdraw with over 60 different cryptocurrencies. And when you make your first deposit using the bonus code Chronos, you'll score up to $50 of free cash. So the Bitcoin network has seen fees growing over the past year at a pretty alarming rate. Some people see that as a terrible thing for Bitcoin because it means it's very expensive to use Bitcoin, which detracts from its value. But my perspective is the opposite. Let me give you an analogy to help you understand. Imagine if Bitcoin was a bus service servicing a city, and each bus that goes by the stop to pick up passengers is like a Bitcoin block. It has a certain amount of capacity, and the passengers or transactions that are bidding the most or paying the most in fees are the ones that get on the bus. Now, a typical bus service charges a flat rate to get on the bus and just takes as many people as it can, but Bitcoin doesn't quite work that way. Instead, the buses will pick up the people who are paying the most in fees. So now, with that perspective, you can imagine that a bus service that's in demand, that's very popular, has high bidders, and that means that people will pay high fees. Whereas a bus service that's not popular at all, there won't be very many bidders, there won't be very many transactions, and transactions will be very cheap. So the fact that people are willing to pay for one Bitcoin transaction is a reflection of how valuable it is to process a transaction on the Bitcoin network. And if you think about it from that perspective, you can see that Bitcoin is by far the most popular blockchain in the ecosystem because people are willing to pay so much to transact on it, while other blockchains collect much less in total fees. This is actually a strength for Bitcoin. It's a sign that people highly value transacting on the Bitcoin network.